Hello there, and welcome to this video. My name is Tyler. For any of you guys seeing me for the very first time, welcome back to any of my subscribers. I appreciate you as always. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Sober October and how I feel. It's November 3rd, which means it's officially over. But for me, I've kind of decided that I want to continue it on for who knows how long until I decide otherwise. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my beginnings, which I covered in my first Sober October video, what my personal relationship is with substances, alcohol, and weed, how I feel now since it's over, and some of the concerns that I have when it comes to people being in support of sobriety. So let's just start off with my beginnings, my relationship with alcohol and other substances. And when I say substances, I literally mean just weed. I've never done anything else, never tried anything else, don't plan on trying anything else. So in this video, I'm just talking about alcohol and weed, just so that you know. When it comes to alcohol, I've been drinking on and off for years, and I've never been a super big fan of hard alcohol, although I would drink it. I did take shots here and there. I did do mixed drinks, but not a fan of the way they make me feel, not a fan of the taste. But I did like wine, and I still do like wine. When it comes to weed, I don't consider myself or my past self as a weed head or a pothead. I like to smoke to a certain point, and then I'm good. Once I feel good and I feel creative and I've reached that point, I don't really care to keep smoking. I'm not one to want to be stuck sitting on the couch all day. That's just not me. When I did smoke, I smoked most of the time when I wanted to be creative. So before I would record videos sometimes, and before I edited videos, because I liked being in that creative, loose, free mindset when creating something. I decided to stop smoking weed on September 13th, so it's actually been a little bit more than a month that I've been completely cut off from weed. So September 13th, I stopped smoking weed, and I feel absolutely amazing. After stopping September 13th, I started to realize that when I did do things like record my videos, I was able to speak so much easier. My thoughts were coming to me so much faster than when I would smoke and then record videos. And once I realized that, I felt like I really wanted to just cut it out completely because I loved the way that it made me feel. And when the idea of possibly doing Sober October came to me, I thought it was a great idea because I had already stopped smoking weed, and now I would be cutting out alcohol as well. And it had been a really long time since I can remember just being completely sober, so I was excited about it. So let's get into how I feel now that Sober October is over and done with. I have some notes down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notebook. First of all, after not having any substances this past month, I realized just how unnecessary they really are. And I say that because I'm not someone who is trying to escape reality or trying to numb myself from certain feelings, although I know there are a lot of people out there who do that. They use substances such as alcohol and weed to numb themselves. They don't want to feel. And I'm not really that type of person. I like to be present. I've always liked to be present. And drinking and smoking were both social things that I like to do, and like I said, with weed, it was something I did when I was feeling creative. So after going through with Sober October for the first week or so, I started to realize, I'm fine without these things. It's not that much of a struggle, and I will link my other videos down below if you're interested in seeing my take on it weeks ago, but I realized that Sober October is probably not going to be super hard for someone like me who doesn't feel like they need to numb themselves. I understand that it's probably more intense for other people. These things were not very necessary for me at all. I've seen a dramatic difference in my skin. Not as many breakouts, just breakouts around my period, which is nothing new. I break out around my period, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. But outside of those breakouts, I wasn't really getting any breakouts. And when I was drinking, regularly, I would break out on my forehead and, you know, right here on my temples a lot of the time, sometimes down here on my jawline. And I've just realized that those breakouts have pretty much disappeared, and my skin is not perfect. I've had one or two bumps within the last couple of months. Who knows exactly why I had them? I can't really say, but I do feel like I've seen a dramatic change in my skin and my texture, the moisture that's in my skin. I just don't feel as dried out. I feel like my complexion is a little bit brighter, so that's definitely a plus. My mood is a lot more stable and positive, which is ironic because I would drink and smoke to enjoy certain things more. I think it's really crazy how my mood, in my opinion, has stayed more consistent than it would be when I was drinking and smoking, because there were times where I would do activities like going to the beach that I would smoke because for whatever reason in my mind I think that I'm going to enjoy the beach more if I'm high or I'm drunk. And that's something that we're made to believe when it comes to doing these substances, that you'll just enjoy life so much more. But I realized that I enjoy life without it. At one point in my life, I didn't have it. I wasn't able to drink, wasn't able to smoke, and I was enjoying life just fine. And I feel like that again. I don't think that I need weed or alcohol to have a good time. And I've kind of experimented with this. I've gone out to brunch with friends where there are mimosas and things that I do love. And I've kind of tested myself to see how strong my temptation is. But I also was testing myself to see how much fun I would have without drinking. And I had just as much fun as I would if I was drinking. So, yeah. I realized that I have more eye contact, my reactions are quicker, my videos are easier, and my thoughts come to me a lot faster. So this is a big one. I really enjoy not being hungover or being sick, which I'm sure we all do. Nobody wants to be hungover. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. But as I've gotten older, I get sick a lot more often when I do engage in alcohol, opposed to when I was in college and I could drink one night, wake up in the morning and be pretty much okay and go to class and go on throughout my day. But as I've gotten older, I can't really drink that much without feeling sick the next day. It was to a point where I would get one mixed drink and I would go home and I just felt really groggy and nauseous the next day. And at first I didn't know if it was the type of alcohol that I was drinking, but when it started happening over and over and over again, no matter what alcohol I was drinking, I realized that my body just does not agree with alcohol that well. Wine is a little bit different. Wine is a little different, but hard alcohol, my body is not the best at processing. So I've really been enjoying not waking up and being sick, because as you guys know, or a lot of you may know, that when you're hungover, your day is pretty much gone because you're spending the whole day recovering from the night before, and we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. During this month, I realized a few things about people. A lot of people view sobriety as some sort of punishment, like it's a negative thing, and I'm not quite sure why that is, because if you think about it, to numb yourself from reality so that you don't feel your feelings and your emotions and that you kind of just go through life on autopilot, that's not a negative thing. Sobriety, on the other hand, that's a good thing. That means that you're able to be content with your current situation. You're present, you're aware, you're here. So that's one thing that I didn't really realize about people. How are you going to do it? Why would you choose to be sober? And I thought it was a little bit strange. Also, there's this fascination with trying to get people who are really trying their best to be sober to drink or to smoke. There's this constant push to do these things that we've already said that we don't want to do. I don't know why people do that either. I don't know why they try their best to pretty much break our run with sobriety and pretty much tempting us with things like alcohol or weed or whatever it is. I don't know if it's to make themselves feel better for whatever it is that they're doing, or if it's jealousy because they want to be doing this but they don't feel like they can. I really don't know what it is. And then, I mean, it could also just be funny to them, you know, funny to see someone who said that they were going to do something break down and go against whatever it is that they said. I'm not sure, but it's just something that I realized was common. But all in all, I just wanted to come on and give you my feelings on Sober October and to let you know that being sober has been great for me. I feel amazing. I feel awake. That's the best way that I can describe it, is feeling awake and feeling present and in my body and just happy to be here. I don't feel like I am looking through a fog, which is really the best way for me to explain what it's like to be high or to be drunk. You feel like you are watching yourself live, or you're watching yourself do certain things. You're not actually doing them, or being on autopilot, or just not present. And I don't say that to put anyone down who is still doing those things. Do you? I just know that for me, being sober has actually been a lot of fun. So, you know, do what you want. But yes, that's pretty much all I had to say. Just wanted to come in and check in with you now that Sober October is done and over with. Still gonna be sober and I'm enjoying my life. So that's all I wanted to say. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you at least a little bit. Before you go, make sure to subscribe so that you are staying up to date with what's going on with me. If you're interested at all in how I style my natural hair, there will be a hair playlist down below, so check that out. Other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye.